Hardly a shift goes by without a physical assault. Police officers are experiencing violence more and more often. Now, some German states are hoping body cams may help de-escalate that trend. Worn on the uniforms, the cameras record the encounter and may discourage potential attackers. That's the idea, anyway. Mainz, the state capital of Rhineland-Palatinate. Gerwin Schwirsch and Stefan Mehl are going on duty. The two officers carry a new weapon in the fight against the increasing violence and decreasing respect from the public: body cams.
The primary aim is our own safety. In other words, we wear the body cam as a preventative measure. We always carry them, and we turn them on in dangerous and tense situations to try to influence the behavior of the people we engage with.
Almost every team is equipped with the tiny cameras when they go out on patrol. The day's first call involves bodily injury. Special forces are already at the scene. The suspect is known to the police as a hooligan with a record of bodily harm, forging checks, narcotics possession, and resisting police officers. This time, the suspect is accused of beating a homeless person. Police officers saw him do it. The suspect claims to have been defending himself after a provocation. It's his second encounter with the police in one day. But he backs down. The officers never even turned on the body cam. It's a busy day in Mainz. The weather is good. The home team has just won an important soccer match. The party mood and alcohol increase the danger that the police will experience violence. Soon, in Mainz's pedestrian mall, Stefan Mehl and Gerwin Schwirsch are called to take down a charge of verbal abuse. The accuser is the same hooligan from before.
She definitely abused me. She said I was a... What did she say? A weirdo. And her boyfriend said, "You Nazi, buzz off. You, with the red monster lips."
Hey, behave yourself and stay close to me. That's enough. You come back with me and remain standing here in front.
Even with prior convictions for bodily harm and resisting the police, the man feels they're treating him unfairly.
I heard what was said and I saw what happened at the station, and obviously things aren't going very well in town today. You take a step back, and then we can talk.
But the hooligan appears to have very little respect for Officer Stefan Mehl.
You've already acknowledged what was said, so everything's in order now. So now we're here to take down your complaint. You take a step back. Don't come any closer. You're on camera, as of now.
Stefan Mehl turns on the body cam. He's required to inform the citizens verbally once again of the video recording.
Basically what happened was that this person was getting relatively aggressive, in my direction in particular. So I decided to turn on the body cam for reasons of my own personal safety. He was getting too close to me and I wanted to prevent that. I was hoping that he'd moderate his behavior and let the situation de-escalate a little.
And that's just the way it seems to have worked. After the initial year-long test phase, the officers in Mainz have had overall positive experiences with body cams. They do seem to help diminish a general lack of respect.
Often you have a situation where people see how far they can go. They think they can handle a police officer a bit differently than they would otherwise. In situations like that, it's important to nip that in the bud and take direct action and say, okay, up to this point and no further.
When the police go off duty, they hand the recorded video footage to their superior officer. He has special software allowing him alone to copy, save, or delete the videos.
Where is your ID? You're Marco. And, Mr. Marco, have you got a last name?
The bodycam records both images and sound.
I'm not at all happy that you're here, ruining the mood.
Now I've got the camera turned on because of the callers saying you're aggressive.
I'm not.
Why are you yelling here?
I'm not yelling at all.
Now I'm going to search for your ID papers.
No, I don't have any ID on me. Hey, are you deaf, you dumb pig?
Along with discouraging abuse, the bodycams can provide conclusive documentary evidence of crimes, even of crimes the police officers themselves have committed. So the bodycams not only protect the interests of the police, but of the citizens they encounter. Since their introduction, violence against police officers has dropped by nearly 50% in Mainz. But some criminal charges are still filed that document extreme hostility towards the police.
The accused behaved extremely aggressively, threatening to attack the officers after he's released. He spat on an officer and insulted all officers present, calling them sons of bitches, saying, "I'll bang your mothers on your graves, the sluts." So he is remanded to the custody of Police Station 1. He's aged 16, to be picked up at the station later by his parents.
And the officers were only trying to stop a brawl.
In another case from 2 days ago, the subjects began resisting. A female suspect bit one officer's arm and another's face and struck another in the chest. To restore control over the situation, at least 2 other subjects had to be pinned to the ground and restrained.
Gerwin Schwirsch can only speculate as to why disrespect, resistance and abuse have generally increased.
For one, I'm sure something is lacking in their upbringing. Their parents may be unable to handle things these days, and the courts have so much to do that many cases aren't processed completely. When things bother me personally in court, I have to put on the Teflon and just take the abuse as a police officer. Then you wonder if any judge realizes what the current situation is really like.
Shortly afterwards, the officers are back on the beat in downtown Mainz. When they drive past 2 men, one of them gives them the finger. In Germany, it is illegal to insult an officer.
We're running an identity check because he's flipped us the middle finger. So we're checking them out. You can't do that, it's not allowed. If you've had even a minimal upbringing, you ought to know that this kind of thing isn't proper.
For these officers, a line has been crossed.
Can you explain to me why you did that?
The brothers have come to Mainz from Switzerland to party.
Do you give officers in Switzerland the finger as well? And how do they react? Do they like it?
The officers order them to leave. They have to vacate the area. Disrespect and violence directed at the police has soared dramatically in recent years. 35-year-old Stefan Mehl has also had his share of these experiences while on the beat. At this site, he once had to handcuff a teenager who was becoming extremely aggressive.
Just as I was giving him instructions, he turned around and spat in my face. You can feel this incredible rage at that moment, which of course causes a really strong disgust. Spitting in someone's face, as many fellow officers confirm, is what provokes you and gets you worked up inside most of all.
No amount of training can prepare a police officer for something like that.
I yelled at him. That way I got rid of lots of rage and emotion. At that moment, your human side really comes out. And it doesn't matter what everyone around is thinking and seeing. For a moment, your human self comes out and you can't control it. But okay, you're not just a police officer that functions at the push of a button no matter what, and always makes totally correct and emotion-free decisions.
On a night shift, Stefan Mehl and Gerwin Schwirsch have to check out a group of teens.
Everyone stay here. I'll be checking everyone's ID. Hey, you stay right there. You calm down, or we're going to have to cuff you. Everyone come over here. By the wall over there.
The young men between the ages of 18 and 23 have no intention of letting the officers see their IDs like that. They stall and provoke every way they can.
You stand over there. Do I have to raise my voice again? That's a provocation when I tell you to stand there 5 times and you just don't do it.
The officers try de-escalation tactics as long as they can without a body cam.
You can't let the situation get out of control. You have to show people their limits when they've reached the point where we're not going to take any more.
I want to go home. What are you doing there?
You're sleeping in a cell tonight.
Why am I sleeping there? Run an alcohol test on me first. Abti, call your mother. Call her. I didn't do anything. He should run an alcohol test. What are you doing? You're grabbing my throat.
Yes, I'm buckling you in.
Why buckle me in? I want to go home. You can't do that, man.
Shortly after, the officers are called to take charge of a man. He was caught trying to get away. The man is aggressive, so the body cam is switched on.
Now listen, I'm turning the camera on. Everything you say now will be recorded. You stay seated here and calm down. Who's a racist? Me? Right. I'm turning the camera back on.
Don't touch me.
The way you're acting here.
I call you, don't touch me. Why you touch me?
You're not doing what we're telling you to.
You resist?
This has nothing to do with racists. You're spending the night in custody with us. Climb in yourself. No, I really don't want to.
Bodily harm, threatened assault, and resistance are hazards the police face. Tens of thousands of cases annually have been recorded throughout Germany. The numbers have been rising for years. In Mainz, the negative trend was stopped by the body cam.